One of the newest and probably my favorite Microsoft tool is Microsoft Teams. If you're not already familiar with Teams, I highly suggest learning more about it. Microsoft Teams is a platform that can act as a one-stop shop for your class, helping to improve communication, collaboration, content delivery, assignment submissions, grading, feedback, and more. In fact, almost all of the tools which we've discussed in this course previously can be incorporated into the Teams platform. Let's take a look at what Microsoft Teams can do. Right now, I'm inside of Microsoft Teams, the desktop application, and this is an account that was created by an educator. So first, I want to go to the Teams tab on the far left, and when I click there, it shows me the different teams that this person has created. Up at the top, I can see a couple of classes that they've created a team for, physical science as well as biology. Below this, they have some professional development ones, one for Pineview School science teachers, and another one for the Pineview School staff. Below that is just a sample, and if I click on more, you'll see that they have several other ones here as well for different classes, and I can close that. Now, you'll notice here that, like I said, physical science, biology, and more, if I click on one of these, you'll notice that it brings me to different sections. And if I click, for example, on the general section, it brings me into that section of the team, something we'll talk about more in another video. Now, I want to take a look, though, on the far left side again to see some of the other things that we can do inside of Teams. First, up at the top, we have the activity icon. This is going to show me any activity, such as assignments that were mentioned, things that were turned in, messages, and more. Below this, we have the chat icon, and this is where you can communicate. So once you have a class created, you can communicate directly with those students, or if you have one for professional development, you can communicate with those coworkers. Now, when you want to communicate, you can do this in several different ways. One way is to go down to the bottom and type out messages, similar to a chat or text. I can also do an audio or video call with these buttons up at the top by using a Skype-like platform. So it's a very convenient way to communicate with your students and for them to be able to communicate with you. Now on the left, the Teams tab, remember, was all of the teams that we have created. Below this, we have Meetings, which is an organizational way, kind of a calendar here that lets you know of any events coming up. We have one for calls that shows if you've missed any calls or if you want to make a group call. Below that, we have Files, and this is where we can store any and all of our files and decide whether or not we want them to be shared or not. And below that is Assignments. So you can also create assignments on this platform, and they'll be stored right here inside of Teams. If you'd like to dive deeper into learning about the features and functions of Microsoft Teams, I suggest checking out the Teams course in our library. Note that Microsoft Teams for Education, though, is slightly different than the normal version, as it incorporates class notebooks, assignments, and gives you more control over the permission of students. However, the majority of the features and functions in the regular version of Teams will apply to your Teams account as well.